We are straight to riot.
Alright, we're live again. They declared a riot.
Riot to riot.
All right, we're live again.
Oh, they want me to go to
It's like,
cone.
yeah. We gotta do with the Red Cross on his back, Street Medic.
Yeah, a herbal medic.
It sound, oof, another firework. I hear what sounds like the oppression voice going over, but I can't exactly hear it.
Whoa.
People are really just continuing to fire fireworks.
They
And you're
dump
hearing
it.
police impact or federal agents firing probably
Federal
pepper balls, maybe
agents.
some foam ammo, maybe rubber bullets in response. Sounds like pepper balls to me.
Damn.
The one that broke near me
What
kind of
an.
felt like a pepper ball. Yeah, you
Not
can
just the
see here one of them
fireworks that
noticed it.
I
just
missed.
keep
I'm going back and
landing
A
and
forth.
really like
hitting.
medieval term,
I'm
I
going
think.
back
So
and
that's
forth
where they're
between Robert
shooting out from,
Evans's and
people.
Wilkes. Oh, there it is. I saw
So we
that.
definitely have
Yeah,
a
there you
very
go.
Damn.
There you
awesome
now you
medieval
see it.
siege
Yeah, it's
here.
a fucking
With
big
that sort
one.
of
They's
crowd,
laying
there's shields,
siege to the building.
to the front.
I wonder
It's
if
rainbow.
anyone's tried to break the
Yeah,
glass
you
that's
see the crowd
above like
getting
the
their shields
plywood.
to the
You know.
front.
What?
You see the
I don't know.
defenders
Why don't you
firing out of
go?
murder holes. You see
No, I'm just saying,
fire,
like, if you're like,
fireworks being shot into the thing.
I'm
This
guessing
is
they
just,
don't want to set the
oh,
building on
Jesus
fire, but I'm
Christ.
surprised no one has done like
Yeah,
broken all the glass and everything, you know.
quite a night, everybody. Quite a night.
But I know that's not the goal.
I
It's
can't
to.
tell what smoke from fireworks and what's
Whoa, he
tear
said he
gas.
could. He's already said a murder hole.
Huh?
He must play Rainbow.
Oh, that's more tear gas, though. Somebody's moving to
Missed it.
disperse the tear gas.
Dang.
Yeah, you did. You talking about
Definitely more
murder
gas
holes and
here,
shit.
and they're continuing to fire very heavily. We've got gas in the crowd.
That's
Gas in the
silly.
crowd.
Like, I guess. I guess.
Oh,
He's saying he can't tell the difference if
come
it's
on.
smoke from fireworks or smoke from tear gas.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, it is tear
Okay.
gas in room to disperse it. Okay, so
It
tear
is
gas
going
is coming in.
wild. Somebody's riding a bicycle with a shield through the crowd.
Oh
Riding a
my
bicycle
god,
with
Fireworks
a
are firing
shield?
gas. Hill, there's gas
that's
behind
a
us. Let's go
cavalry
through here.
unit.
Go through here.
That's the
Wait.
cavalry unit.
Move.
It's more ethical. So if someone hits your mount, you know, a horse ain't dying. It's like fuck my bike. Yeah, definitely getting tear gas again.
I don't see this magical bike.
Yeah.
I wanted to see.
Yeah. Ah.
Spicy.
Oh my gosh, it's
Thank
chaos.
you.
You can hear him better. Is that Umo Live News, Portland, Oregon? You can hear like the fucking chaos of it all.
Oh, shit.
It's just a cloud. That is definitely a cloud of tear gas now. Holy shit! Where are
Welcome
all
to
these
hell.
people getting these high quality
Yeah,
masks from?
They buying them.
You
Get them in they're like painting masks, I think. You just need ones with the cartridges.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
The
That makes
Lowe's
sense.
probably too, like shit, Home Depot, I think. I haven't looked, but I assume from what, like when you see pictures of it, you see like 3mm makes it or 3M makes it.
Yeah.
That tells you it's probably a Lowe's and shit. That's an
You know what, man? I'm okay.
brand.
I'm okay.
No, time to go get a laser, go get a beam, just get your whole kit out, huh?
Oops.
Get you a mask,
I'm gonna need to get
a
a
shield.
fucking shield. Get the family crest on it. I don't know what my family animal should be. Like what my family emblem should be.
A cat dog.
Cat dog. So you got a lot of cats and a lot of dogs. The only there's that fucking bike with the shield. That's hilarious. It's a big ass round shield. It was in Umo Live News. This dude just riding around with a big ass shield.
I missed it.
I don't know. The only nickname I've been given that was like animal related was I was called King Cobra at one point.
Cobra Kai?
I don't know why they called me King Cobra. I never figured it out, and no one ever told me, but that's what they called me.
Doggo does not care. Poor Doggo. They doing whistling. What do you think about these foily shiny shields? You like those?
I mean, they shine light back at the goons.
Don't forget a good pair of goggles. Need those.
Get some fucking swimming goggles.
Just get a whole snorkel or something, like a whole fucking spacesuit. Then they can't get you.
Maybe that was that guy's thinking with the little spacesuit. He's like, oh, this is the Under Armour, you know, the full suit's just in the wings ready to go.
I'm sealed up tight. My body's
All right,
sealed.
everybody, I'm
My
back.
face is
Sorry.
sealed.
They got me real good there. And now my glasses are all fucking fogged up. Shit.
Yeah, people are running and getting back with the tear gas.
So, yeah, Portland police, that was
The Gestapo is
pretty
marching, as you
interesting,
would say.
everybody. A different show of force than we've seen before. Is B okay? Okay, cool. No, she's just drawing us. Alright, thank you. Okay, I can... Oh, yeah, there she goes. Alrighty. Oh, good.
Oh shit! I think the dickheads are coming. The Galactic Empire.
Yeah, the Empire. They just the voice just said
here we have
from
the
this
right.
area to this area, the city's closed,
They are
as if you got the
deep,
authority
though.
to close their city.
They are deep in Portland. Teebs Gaming.
They are.
Holy fuck, dude! That's multi-hundred.
How do you close a city? You know?
Look at all these
It's
assholes. Yeah, the police state is there.
Pressure leaving. Move old shit off.
Ooh, gone, just like a bomb, a cannon fire.
That was real close to their own line. I don't know what the cause for that or what the point of that was. That was like right there. Maybe to scare those people off. They were trying to scare those people off.
Yeah, fuck those people.
Alrighty. You know, just a weird speed nature of him. This guy running in to shoot. The cause for that or what the point of that was. That was like right there. Maybe to sparklers behind these guys. Huh? We have camera guys, okay. So these must be the feds.
Feds?
These must be the feds.
Federales. Suit boys.
Suit boys, soy boys, bunker boys.
And they're pulling back. So it looks
Someone
like
is-
that might be
someone's
their
wearing a
orders
bandana and
tonight
fucking
is to
swimming
pull
goggles.
back
Well,
after
it's there.
clearing out everybody. And that seems to be what's happening.
Here comes the stormtroopers marching. Oh,
Oh
they're
no,
pulling
there's
back.
still guys here. Oh. The Columbia to Yamhill's closed. Look at these guys. We got army guys, looking guys here. Right in the middle of Portland. As traffic rolls by. All right. We got some army guys coming this way too.
Army guys are there.
People chanting at them. Calling about how this, looks kind of like a war zone. Which it does, with those guys marching down the street. Looks war zoney to me.
Hey, it does look war zoney, but the whistles in the background makes it guerrilla warfare also. Yeah.
All right, guys.
I mean, whistles, they used to do that shit in World War fucking One. Like, all right, time to get out of the trenches, boys. Get out of there. Go.
I mean,
Go
it is
get.
a war zone, but it ain't just one-sided, though.
Watch out.
Oh, shit, they pushing.
We all have our press passes clearly displayed. Nobody is resisting. We're all just filming. Hey, we're getting on the sidewalk. We're moving westbound. We are moving westbound.
I like how the press is
There are
the
people- there are
front
people
line.
behind us.
for the protesters. You see that?
So what's the good news?
Mhm.
Like Evans, Marquise got there. There was another guy in the camera shot. There's a bunch of guys with phones out, as you can see on the front. Like
Yeah, I saw
pretty
'em.
much they're insulating them. I like that. I like that a lot. And then some of these shield people. Well, maybe just that one. But that's interesting.
I like the shield guys. I like the shield bearers. They would do great at Vogue.
Fuck that Templar.
Templar would stand a chance against all these shield bearers.
Right line moving pretty quick. Oh, I'm coming up. All right. Portland police are warning we're going to start shooting turbo.
There's Starbucks.
Folks are ordered to disperse. Interesting.
Dang, he got like an OG gas mask. Adam Costello.
Hey, John. Yeah. Fucking
Oh, the
A.
sign blew over in Seattle. Oh,
You hear him say, they call us, they say, it's keep it tight, keep the formation tight, keep the formation tight. I'm telling you, man, they need the Phalanx. They need more shields.
They didn't play enough Destiny.
This is like,
And they're letting John stand behind him with a camera and film. So far, the federal injunction against press seems to be broadly respected. I haven't seen anybody gone after Sajid.
gotta have somebody calling cadence to get this formation. Shit, man, I do need to be out there.
That's the way it goes.
Like, hut 2, 3, 4, bitches, get in step.
Here we are, downtown Portland, night. Jesus, 36 to 37. Moving as quickly as we can. Let's try to Broadway. Here.
This still pushing Robert Evans right now? Oh, what happened to the Teebs broadcast?
Wait, to go down? The team's game is still up for me.
Or
is it repeating?
Solo tab. It might be repeating.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, they're not arresting folks there. They were letting press behind them. Oh yeah, that's what these people. And again, the crowd is reformed. Folks have their shields and such up. But the bulk of the crowd seems to be running. Someone yells, "Stop running off of your streets!" All right, I got my thing off now. So, the crowd. Huh? Yeah. People have pulled back most of the crowd. Some of the folks in the front yelled, "Stop running away from your streets." You know, people yelling that folks are needed up at the front. The bulk at the front seems to have moved back. The folks may be reforming. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. I think we tried to... Let's try to get around behind him.
He popped a wheelie.
Try to tell when they're gonna run.
The guy fucking on Robert Evans, this guy pops a wheelie, did what actual intelligence in New York would never do.
So we are moving up.
You want to talk about a cool zone? We're in a time in history when people are popping wheelies.
Look at him. Look at him. I see the
shots there. See a different perspective. What?
See, DeAndre got one. You got a fancy
Yeah,
mask.
yeah, I see it now.
Oh, yeah.
We got a bank. So a little bit of a broken window in it.
Good,
So it
fuck
does look
the
like
banks.
somebody's messed up a bank.
Good.
So
Hell yeah.
that's fun.
That's one really good, guys.
So yeah, this is
Tease
4th of
brought out a
July,
fucking
Portland.
pig to squeak.
Started out as just kind of people firing wildly at the Justice Center and Federal Courthouse with fireworks.
I mean,
Hopefully the police
I
and the
know we
feds
said
came
this
out.
before, but I'll say
There
it
was a
again.
bit of a battle
You know, Teebs
over
Gaming
the Justice
and
Center.
Robert
and now
Evans
Cycle
in
Club
Portland,
is
Oregon
actually
right
up
now.
here,
You have the cops just being like, no
reforming
protest, and look, and
and
they
getting ready
keep
for more,
escalating
it
shit. And
looks
look
like.
at what it is,
So,
a borderline
seems like
war
one for one
zone,
of those
just
nights.
with one
Yeah.
side being the main aggressors and the other side
I'm
trying
gonna
to peacefully
reset my
protest.
fucking
And then you
situation.
go
I'm
into
gonna
the
give you
bottom
the
left on Woke, and you see Seattle, and it's just like just flowers and memorials and shit. You know, it's calm, peaceful,
Flicking
tranquil
them off on
vibes.
that
I can't do
Casella.
these things. There's Robert getting dressed.
You know, it's like that whole dynamic whenever we saw when Minnesota was being featured a lot on this, and like they were all just like sitting at the spot where George Floyd was murdered, and they were just, you know, just it was a calm, quiet protest, but they shut it all down. You know, they shut the city down for that shit.
Shut down.
I'm gonna keep it down at people's feet until we get the police out here again. So it won't be the most entertaining it ever is, but you can kind of see out here without too much detail. And you can kind of see this is like the size of the crowd still hundreds, if not 1,000 folks. Yeah, it seems like 80% of the crowd made it over here through the initial dispersal, and that was a heavy dispersal. They were dropping some ordnance. Yeah, this is one of the better jobs I've seen of the crowd staying together. Yeah. Thank you. I have my water. Oh. Yeah, take that. Because my only issue was the way the fucking helmet's working. I know. Yeah. No, we're not at the Justice Center. We pulled back. This isn't Pine. Where the fuck are we? South Block Park. We're at South Block Park. We pulled back from the Justice Center when the feds and the police did their big push. Huh? Yeah. We're on Salmon. People are walking through the crowd, telling them there's only a few more minutes before the police do another big push. They should get their breath, get ready. Folks are broadly, I would say, the most prepared I've seen for this sort of thing.
True.
So let's take another look down the street, see what we see. Boy howdy, that was some nutso stuff. The siege of the federal courthouse with fireworks. That was definitely some of the most visually entertaining action I've seen. So over here, you can see kind of the line of skirmishers who are protecting, you know, a few dozen people, protecting this big crowd here while they recoup, resituate their gear, get their breath, and beyond them are more police. So that is the current situation here. And we have seen, so far at least, police kind of obeying the federal injunction against the targeting of journalists. I haven't seen any targeting of journalists. They let photographer I know like move pretty freely within their line. So we'll see how that stays. In terms of actual violence, I mean, they've been tear gassing again, but they stopped gassing once the folks cleared out of the park, and they used muscle to just kind of like, you know, riot line. There were some flashbangs, but no gas outside of, or at least not much gas outside of the actual park. Now, I think they've declared a riot, so they will be using more gas, I suspect. They're probably using a decent amount of it. But initially, at least, before the riot was declared, it does seem to have been the feds who were dropping most of the gas. Yeah, they're rushing. Okay. Police line are rushing. Yeah, there's tear gas that's going to be coming in, so my respirator here is on. So I will not be, I will have to work hard to enunciate. Oh boy, fireworks
Robert
behind the
Evans.
police
Got him.
line.
Yep.
Police are not going to like that. I have it on
That
display.
firework.
The police do not like fireworks being fired at them.
That Portland area does look kind of cool, like with the, you know, just like the
Yeah, I
vibe,
think they
with
did pull back.
how the lights are and everything.
But
What the fuck
that
is that
won't last
orange?
long.
That yellowish gas? What the fuck is that? I'm guessing that's a
Were they
smoke
pulled
bomb?
Mustard.
Looks like fucking Smoke
Oh.
just let off his shit. He trying to
Oh.
deny the
It seems
plant.
like the police may have done the thing that they did
a few nights ago where they gas and drop flashbangs and then pull back. So maybe pulling back to the Justice Center, and the crowd is moving forwards. This could be a trap,
A marching
or it could
grenade.
be just kind of an optics
thing where they're like, all right, well, we want to make it really clear that these people can't be stopped from going to the Justice Center by any other means. So it's possible that that's
see
kind of the
Eric's
tactic here.
And Teebs
That's
are,
always interesting when they pull back.
or are they together?
Yeah.
I think they're next to each other.
I think it looks like they're together.
Huh?
Looks like the same area. Yeah.
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 Yeah, most
We do have to
definitely.
kind of
They
decide how much
definitely
of
linked
this
up.
we wanna keep getting, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm not sure where the crowd's going to go next.
Thank you.
But the police have pulled back, which may be kind of a
I just heard someone call the cops
deliberate
pussies. I
police
love it.
tactic to draw people out, or I don't know. Tonight's been a weird night in total, folks, and this is a larger crowd than we've seen for a while. So I do think you are seeing some somewhat different tactics from the police than we've seen in a while. It's also not lost on them that the city's kind of opened back up again. There's more normal cars in the street. More normal cars in the street. More, people to be hit in the crossfire. And also the crowd has fireworks that they can launch at the police, which has happened before, but not. Yeah. Look at that. Cavalry coming in. So there's a huge crowd of folks.
VMAS,
Rushing in
second
here now,
one in Portland.
to advance
Robert
back
Evans
on
came.
the police. So you can kind of see
I was looking at Teebs Gaming and fucking Eric Johnson shit.
big
That was your
crowd.
first
Let's see if I can catch it again.
Crowd estimates,
Right,
I heard from a couple of people
right,
were
right there, on the
80%
right. Right
No,
there.
I saw it. I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah.
managed to reform
See what I
after the
mean?
police broke
Ow.
Yep. The agents of Anon.
You love to see it.
And they're going back to the Justice Center.
If only there were actual agents of Anon, though. Like they actually stood for something.
Where's their beat? Okay, she's okay. All right. So, people are in the process of regrouping and heading back to the Justice Center. And I guess that's the plan next. I can't hear what you're saying. One sec, everybody. Oh, yeah. Oh, police coming up again, I had to say. Alrighty. Yeah, tonight's real unpredictable, everybody. It does look like folks are trying to head back to the Justice Center, which is a mixed bag of a call, but well, I guess it's what they're doing. So, crowd is now headed back to the Justice Center. And somebody set off a firework further up ahead. You can see pretty big crowd, very organized. Just
I
so
love the
many damn
fireworks.
fireworks. I cannot exaggerate the number of fireworks
I've always
love
loved the
that are in the
fireworks.
crowd.
I was
tonight.
literally like, when I woke up, because I slept all fucking night, I was like, man, there's no fireworks. And when I was outside, I get on, start watching the Portland protests. There's all the fireworks. Yeah. I'm like, well, that's awesome.
Remember I was outside. Ooh, sorry, Shadow
All right,
Earth.
everybody.
That's you.
No. Oh, Portland police cam.
I know. I
Pig
didn't mean
cam. We could.
Oink oink, motherfuckers.
It ain't loaded up.
Yeah, and again, I don't.
But yeah, I
think
saw.
I think that they will argue the Fed.
I didn't see, but I heard a shit ton of fireworks going off around my area. But I'm assuming it's a fireworks show. Literally, dudes in my shop are having like a they I don't know if they're still having it, but they had like a party with all like 50 to 80 people going to one dude's house to
Booth party?
celebrate the 4th. No, it wasn't a booth party.
Dang it.
I just like that we have all these all these restrictions about COVID and everything, but these guys like, yo, I'm having a party, everybody's invited, and everyone's like, yeah, I'll go.
It seems like a lot of times when that
people in the
happens,
crowd who might have
the
just heard
virus gets
explosions
spread.
going
So
off and
I don't
seen
know.
a
Be
giant crowd of people
careful.
barbecuing.
No, that's why I didn't go.
in the
That's why I
Justice
didn't
Center
go.
and
'Cause
wanted to go.
I was like,
Well, I mean, you ain't
no,
gonna
because
be next to these
dudes
people
in,
though
yeah,
for the next
sure,
2
yeah, when I gotta
weeks.
go. Well, I work on an off shift, so
Okay.
I'm not actually next to a lot of these people.
Somebody just threw a bottle. That's a bad
I don't
idea.
know.
Kind of rained a little bit of
My
glass.
sleep schedule different.
Hey, buddy.
But I would think they would take it more seriously since someone in our shop literally had COVID-19.
Yeah, they did call it a riot.
But
It wasn't a riot.
what the fuck is going on in Umo Live News? Is he inside a building? Oh, okay, no.
What?
Umo Live News in fucking Portland, Oregon. Some dudes walking down the street like looks like a building that had the window broke and he just walked right in.
I
So
missed it.
that's where things are right now.
Where'd Cop Cam go? Is it
Interesting
gone?
evening. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're gonna get a bunch of glass on you doing that.
Whoa, Robert Evans walked by the broken glass. What is that building?
All right. People are being reckless. So let's get away from the windows. Yeah, we're in the cool zone for sure.
We're in the cool zone for
It
sure.
was all very contained prior to the police tear gas and prior to the dispersal of everything. But
He is
prior to
right.
the LRADs, it was really when the police started telling people to do stuff. People started doing the opposite. Led to people
I'm
really
hearing Robert Evans talk about
getting
the
into
cool
the
zone more
justice or
often.
getting into the courthouse, and led to the tear gassing and the fighting and the yada yada yada. And here we are in the cool zone. So. Huh. Yep. Looks like it's gonna come in here. Go. Oh, that's a lot of gas. Huh? Fighting? Oh, shit. Fighter! People.
Back to gas in the whole city.
Oh yeah. That's all they know how to do. That's all they care about.
At least if you live in the area, you don't have to worry about paying for an exterminator anytime soon.
Everything's gonna be dead.
Save
So
you
here,
some
I don't
money.
know if we brought this up or not. We probably, it sounds like somebody we brought up, but
Mm-mm.
we have this whole COVID-19 thing. You know, something that attacks the lungs and makes it to where it's harder to breathe.
Yeah.
You know, and you're releasing tear gas on a mass population of many of which who don't even know they have this. You know, I can't help but think that it would literally kill someone who had COVID but didn't know it. You know.
Sounds like a Chinese bioweapon that's anti-protesters that I floated was one of the potential theories. Huh.
Whoa, that was my thing that I was
Ah.
saying at the beginning.
Ah.
It's all coming together now, huh?
Yeah, I exactly. That's what I said. They're quick to not trust the government, but they're also quick to trust that the government's telling you their
The
stance.
truth.
Yeah, to tell you the truth for you to go the opposite of. Like, what? Like, you can't trust anything they say, not trust what they say and do the opposite, because that's illogical. Like, you're not supposed to trust them at all. Like, you're not even supposed to trust what they tell you, because it's probably propaganda. But they don't buy into that theory.
I wouldn't trust the government if they said 2 + 2 is 4. I'd be like, man, y'all
Exactly.
lying. That shit is 3.5, and you know it. I'm not with you. It's like, it is 5 at the most. Maybe 6 on
It's
Wednesdays.
about to happen on the Robert Evans cam. The cops like, get up, man. What are y'all doing? Like, he's taking a dump, and these other cops are like, do you guys need help taking a dump? Look, we'll help you take a dump. Oh, I think he's hurt. Hang on, quick.
Don't let that cop near him. Don't let that cop near him. I mean, look at where he's at. He's in the middle of fucking tear. He probably can't breathe. He's collapsing.
Oh, here comes the fucking fag squad.
Soup boys? Soy boys?
Uh-oh.
The boys? Yeah, it looks like that dude got hurt and they called medics over. I wouldn't trust those medics though. There's gonna be some malpractice going on over there.
Look at this dude zooming around.
Yeah,
What does that
Villa
say?
Phoenix
Are you
Pretty
just
sizable
Dodgers?
still.
I think so.
And that's the right
Can't
line.
really tell.
And a very hurt
Man,
person.
you gotta get out of here, old man. They're gonna throw you out that thing and blame you for not being able to get up.
Yeah. Well, Halo Space is right next to them. It looks
Yeah, they
like.
got him here. Oh. The crowd's got a little bit of a barrier set up.
Barrier.
Not the one though. They got shields.
Farmer. This is on. This is. Remember, I told you I had not seen a confrontational engagement between the police state and the protesters since like the first couple nights.
Yeah, that's us.
We're kind of getting there.
Oh, right next to
It's almost a full-blown war.
Wait, I say it gets to that point when random buildings just start popping up on fire.
Yeah,
That's when I
they're
say.
shooting directly at.
I know it's happened. I'm saying like until it started happening. Yeah, that's when it's like, oh shit's out of control.
Was that Sergio?
Sergio.
I didn't see that was Sergio. Jesus. So they're shooting directly at Sergio. There's a bear, I think, and they're firing directly at this group in the middle here. Dropped a couple of big, like, flashbangs right on them. Yeah, it seems like they hit Sergio directly. Couldn't really tell exactly what happened to him. We're over here. So far, they've just been pushing the crowd, but these people are, like, trying to hold a position alone while the rest of the crowd holds back here.
Uh-oh.
Some folks have moved up with them. I think they're just trying to set a line in the hopes that other people will push up. But the police are doing their thing. All right. So, we've got police.
Oh, you seeing dudes taking the stands with his
moving
shield.
forward. Crowd with his hands up, pulling back.
Put this shield through its paces. Uh-oh.
What the fuck was that?
We all
A
have our press
helmet?
passes up in the air. Sergio is another
They're
Portland.
running dudes down now. Here
I
we
think
go.
maybe he didn't have his press pass
Damn.
in his hand. He has press written on his vest, so maybe he thought that was enough. They shot him directly. But that's what it looked like. I may have it wrong. And police are holding their line here. Oh boy, something just got tossed into there. Can't tell if those are fireworks or not. But crowd is pulling people back. Somebody through tank. Oh boy, we got us a real Jesus Christ. Somebody did something over here that was real not a great call. Oh yeah, and they're fucking rushing after this guy. Yeah, and folks are rushing. So it looks like somebody set off a firework in the train next to the 7-Eleven
Do they have
that
a
everybody
dude
liked.
down like right in front of the fucking
And a
tram?
group of people ran to confront them and what they're doing, yelling at them. Worth getting. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Took some forceful words
Takes
to
4 of these
yeah.
dudes to take down one protest. So is it safe to say there is
So, a little bit of
like it affected
Somebody
for the cops to be effective.
off right in the
They
middle
need
of
a whole
everybody.
squad car full of
And right in the middle of
anybody
the
full of people
7-Eleven.
to arrest one person.
yeah, somebody yelling at him.
You know, because it always seems to be like a
Yeah.
4-on-1
Hey.
situation. It's never just like all
That seemed to
right,
be
yeah, I
interesting.
got this. It's like, bro, I gotta call the whole
Here up in
squad
front of
over
the
here.
police while folks behind
I'm
us
scared.
take care of that guy, I guess. They are pretty pissed. It looks like folks are marching him back. You okay?
There are other students who got her name.
Huh? Oh, yeah. We have munitions. Oh, Lance. Wow.
You
She
see that
said
guy
it.
just shoot?
Well, we got grenades.
Wait,
so
shoot.
my mask is going back on.
His
folks.
noob tube. Typical
I see
noob
that.
tubers.
Oh, Lance.
Robert Evans.
And we got a little fire
Oh,
over there.
okay, never mind. Yeah, I did see
He
that.
just look. He just aims up, bop right
Yeah.
there.
Definitely some impact munitions being fired.
Like he's shooting them 320
LVGs.
LVGs and 320 rounds, man. Shit.
He
Playing
playing
Battlefield.
Metro, man. We got to clear the hallway.
Yeah.
We got to clear the hallway.
He playing Grand Bazaar. He got the underbarrel.
Grand Bazaar, that long ass hallway. Everybody on the edges like clear them out,
That's what
clear
it,
them out.
man, a cop playing Grand Bazaar.
Yeah, it's not a great parade. How long do those fucking things keep going off for? Jesus Christ. Wow, okay. I got a lot of stuff going off around us.
They're kind of blocked out.
Jesus Christ, that thing has been going off for forever.
Robert Evans.
I don't think you can appreciate how long this firework has been going off for,
Talking
folks.
about
It
this
just will not
firework.
fucking stop.
Going off for forever.
I got a lot of stuff going off around us.
It's like, that's been like a minute now. Yeah, no, we didn't do no more tear gas. Alrighty, so here we are, Portland, Oregon, 4th of July.
Oh, those things
Whatever time
those
it
things
is.
do last forever. It's like 64 of the fucking
Yeah, it's
mini
been
dynamite
quite a
fucking
night.
sticks.
Alright, and that's a grenade. And they're dispersing the crowd again.
Robert Evans said no more tear gas. If they waste all their ammunition, they gotta replenish the stocks again.
And it's again real hard to tell whose munitions are being used by who at this moment, because just everybody has fireworks tonight, so it's kind of hard to tell what's the police munitions, what's random. I mean, when they go big like that, it's easy, but when it's just a boom, it's just a series of booms happening in all directions. Wow! Oh boy! Boy howdy, yeah. So this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier. The crowd has a shitload of fireworks, and there's a lot of people in the crowd. There were about 1,000 people in the crowd before
Series of booms.
the fighting really started, and then people started dispersing it and stuff.
These fucking oh, that firework fucked them up. It fucked up a handful of them. Oh, it's
Get
happening.
fucked.
I told you. Oh, I called it.
Oh boy.
Oh my
It's like,
God.
Oh, they are mad.
You see that shove? Yeah, that was quite a shove. Yeah. Yeah, they shoved that lady pretty hard. She tried to kick back a smoke grenade.
With the oppression voice.
Yeah, definitely tear gas in the air. A lot of shoving here in the front.
They don't like it when you assault them back.
Pussies Aaron, you know this. That they're scared. I mean, it's that age-old thing, you know. Oh, what do you do to a bully? You fight back and then they leave you alone. So it's just that shit. These are the bullies of high school. Or actually, no. These are the kids that got bullied. And then it's like, when I grow up, I'm gonna be a cop, and you're gonna have to respect me. These are those dudes.
Police are respecting the
Against the arresting and assaulting of journalists. Yeah, they're starting to get handsy with the crowd now. It has been a long. Oh boy, we got an arrest. Okay.
Oof. Well, Robert Evans, someone's getting arrested. Someone's getting jumped. Someone's getting jumped.
Let's get jumped.
He is like, look out, he's jumping his ass.
Your glasses! Your glasses!
This incident has been declared a riot. You are ordered to disperse. You are subject to arrest and use of force, including ammunition.
And they're marching the arrested person off now. Just a sea of umbrellas on the ground, another arrest. Oh boy. People asking her name.
What's your name? What's your name?
Oh, it's like someone with a shield got taken down. No.
Yeah, house
No.
spell. Hell's Kill.
No, someone gotta pick up the shield. The Templar is gonna kill us all. Shoot the damn oracles.
Yes, I know. We about to wipe. Yeah, just
Yeah.
wipe.
That was a fast charge.
Wipe that asshole. Nah, you right, bro. Fucking someone shoot those hobgoblins.
All right, let's do it.
These from the what were the green dudes you were shooting that you could pull everywhere? I forget what they were called.
Get back to the
Fanatics.
police because they did a
Yeah. Oh,
fast charge,
don't get me started on that.
and we lost them.
Those
We
are called
definitely
Trump
lost them.
supporters
So,
and Biden supporters.
The one party supporters.
Yes.
all right.
What do you think the spider
So,
means?
just joining us. What started as
Spider-Man.
people having a 4th of
What's
July
spider?
party on the lawn of the
Adam
Justice Center and
Costello, he
Federal
might turn
Courthouse.
around, but you see him like holding up this
We're a little
big.
bit
Oh, it doesn't look like he's
pear-shaped.
gonna turn around anytime soon.
Oh.
They're on like this
after
big ass spider
a really
thing,
surprisingly
like a
long
little
amount of time
float.
Fire
shooting
tank?
fireworks.
That's the
The
fallen
feds
in
came
there.
out.
Just all the
Everything was
falling.
covered with tear gas. People were dispersed.
Yeah.
Hell,
Riot
cow.
police came out.
Dude, these
Riot
dudes
was
never know how to
declared.
just pick their cameras
Uh,
up. You know,
then
I hate that.
The
shit
crowd
sometimes.
reformed, marched again, was dispersed, and has been pushed. Hasn't actually been dispersed. It's been consistently pushed back.
Look hell of cows.
And here we see the crowd now. We just watched
Oh, you see, you
the
can
result
see
of
for
a
a
big
second.
police push. They really grabbed and arrested a significant number of folks.
Oh, yo, you got that one
and
dude
now we
on
see
Trey
still
Stewart with his
A
shield
lot of
standing
this
his ground
crowd.
a little
I think
bit.
about 80% or more of the original crowd at the
You
Justice
love to
Center,
see.
which is well over
He was like
1,000 folks.
shuffling back. He's like, keep the shield
Survive-
up, keep
like,
the
not
shield
survive,
up.
but
Don't show your
reformed.
back to the enemy. That's how you
The
get hit
first
with the
dispersal, which
arrow.
involved a shitload of tear gas. And now, definitely still many hundreds of folks. And the
On
spider.
Halo Space, you see, they
the
just
streets
fucking
of
jumped a
Portland.
bunch of females.
Yep.
I hate seeing all these male cops just get all over. Like, it's just gross.
Yeah.
Like, when there's 4 of them just essentially just
Yeah.
groping one female. It's like, one of you is more than enough. Like,
They're
now they all
putting their
just-
hands on her without her permission, so technically.
Yeah, it literally
She
is.
didn't commit a crime other than using the First Amendment.
Yeah.
NLG, what's that?
That's the National Lawyers Guild.
Oh, okay.
Those are the good guys.
Moving around to the side
Yeah.
here.
Them in the
They
ACLU,
cut
you'll see
across.
places either observing
know
or
how
if they
great
need
a
to
place
get bailed out or something. Like that.
Yeah.
This is, to be honest, where's the lane?
They're there to
Yeah,
neutralize
it is. It,
hold people accountable.
it's like it's bad enough. Like when I see them jumping like
It's
just some random dude, you know, 4-on-1 as always. But whenever I see them jumping like a
tear gas,
female,
they're
I'm
gonna
like,
gas a lot of
you
people in
guys
food
are
stalls.
like, I don't trust you.
Yeah, they're tear
You know,
gassing the crowd again.
I already don't trust you, but I trust you even less. Putting your hands on a female. You know, it's gonna turn into one who's like, I didn't mean to rip her shirt off. She was just resisting arrest.
Fucking dude.
You can't tell me you don't see that kind of shit happening. I mean, apparently, Aaron, these motherfuckers rape people when they're in their custody and say it was an accident.
Yeah, they said that scene, like that concept in Orange is the New Black, wasn't like that was pulled from reality.
Yeah, it was just like I didn't. It was like, well, I don't know how I ended up raping her, Your Honor. Like, what the fuck?
Together.
Like, what do you
There's a lot
mean?
of police
You
munitions.
sexually assaulted someone by accident.
And here we have just more of this shit going on in the Portland traffic again, as has become the tradition.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'll catch up with the group in a minute. And Trevor, right there,
Alright.
I see his fucking
Go.
stripes.
Real interesting day here in the streets of Portland. Oh boy. Oh boy. They've cut his tires. Looks like they're going to arrest the BLM snack van.
No, not the snack
They
van.
just cut that dude's tires.
No.
Of course, they
That dude's
assault
right
property.
Impact munitions
They do.
pointed at people here in the streets of
Come
Portland.
on.
Tires. Oh boy. Of a car that's moving into a crowd. Looks like they're going
Aw.
to arrest the not like that van. They've arrested its driver at least once that I'm aware of. I think more like 2 or 3 times. That dude, and he is just continuing to roll,
You have to.
trying to get away as best he can. It looks like now, pulling down this side street while the
Man,
crowd moves in.
pulling
Oh, here we
to-
go.
Ah.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Jeez.
Press. Woof, that is a lot of munitions.
It's not looking good.
Crowd shouting that they outnumber the police 20-1. Police
Boom!
definitely. Whoa, that one went off real close to us.
Oh, bad. You gotta pick your targets. You gotta get these fireworks friggin' at the police, not
Wow.
the press.
And again, I can't tell you.
Oh, that's fucked.
how
That was a little better.
I super am with all of the
Damn.
fireworks.
This is exactly what I told you. This is about it almost. They were a little more aggressive towards the cops, like physically. In like the New York ones, like they'd kind of clash like lines and push each other back, and then kind of. I think I don't remember. Actually, it was pretty much this.
Jesus.
Actually, they just keep
All
falling
right, we
back
have
and
gas
shooting
behind us
fireworks and
too,
throwing
everybody.
shit back at them
Gas
and
behind us,
bitching
too.
at them.
Oh, here we go. Oh, they're dragging him. Holy shit, they just
They're
dragged him
kicking
into
that tear gas
crowd.
canister, the canister,
Holy
canister.
shit, did you people see that? They just dragged a man into a cloud of tear gas. That was fucking nuts. Police do not like that fucking spider.
What spider? What? They don't like the spider.
Apparently, Robert Everson, they
Good
just
Lord.
drugged someone into a tear gas cloud. It's like, get over here, rip his mask
Yeah.
off, make him. Oh my God, no, the spider, the spider.
What
the
spider? The guy is a spider.
Ah,
No,
So,
Robert Evans
on
Street
Mayday,
seemed like
those
throw the
spiders
fucking
had
spider
Pepsi cans
thing
that
that they were
people-
hanging out of the tear gas
yeah,
cloud.
they dragged them across the street into tear gas, if that's the person I'm thinking.
Oh
I believe I
no.
have it on film. Did y'all see them dragging that fucking person into the gas? That was nuts.
That's how they waterboard their U.S. citizens. Throw them through
Yeah,
tear
okay,
gas.
so it got captured. Yeah, they slashed the tires. All right. Incident declared a riot. We are ordered to disperse. Leave the area now.
Oh, here's another. So they are firing rubber bullets too into that crowd and through the smoke. They're not supposed to shoot them at people's heads, but through the smoke, I don't know. No, we look like we got some homeless people who just got tear gas. So
Fuck the
definitely some homeless people tear gas by PPB tonight. Person dragged
I mean,
through
they've
the
been
street.
saying that for
They
a
should
while.
have had
my guy.
money. If they don't want to get gassed like a fucking Jew, they should have fucking enslaved themselves in the capitalist state. If not, you get gassed.
Bunch of these. Now,
Welcome to the Portland Police.
kind of like they're shooting foam rounds wildly into the damn clouds of tear gas when they can. They're not supposed to aim those directly at people. They can't even claim to know where they're shooting them, the way that they're dispensing them. And yet, I've never seen them drag someone like that. They dragged someone across the road into a cloud of tear gas, like tackled them and dragged them, which was one of the most, we've seen a lot of force from the PPB. That was one of the most aggressive things I've seen from them. Just in terms of like a kind of willful disregard for human safety. But it is fireworks night. Yeah, the feds did not like it. Nobody, I mean,
Here.
I will say this,
Hold
I had a
on.
lot of those fireworks blow up as close to me as they did to the police, and I'm
Here
okay.
you go, honey.
It was not as,
I got you, girl.
oh, they did. They broke a window in the courthouse. That is not going to make
Yo, you
the
hear that
feds
shit?
happy, but
So
we knew the
said,
feds weren't
how does it
happy
feel
when they
to know
started
that your
shooting.
city hates you, and
So-
another dude yelled out,
pretty interesting night on
"This is
the
where my
street.
taxes go to, you fucking cocksuckers."
These fucking cocksuckers got me pinned down.
This fucking
They're staying
cocksuckers got me
together
fucking
well.
pinned down.
Turned it
Oh,
into battlefield now.
They're not
It's
listening to
turned
the
into
police.
battle. These cocksuckers
Uh,
got our protest pinned down.
These cocksuckers
Yeah.
throwing tear gas
Yeah,
at
this is the best I've seen everyone do.
Grenade!
These goddamn cocksuckers
Isn't
throwing
that
Yo, if we were there in Portland, we'd be like,
I'm a
they're,
journalist, but I
they're
have a medical
suppressing us,
certificate.
suppressing fire.
fucking cocksuckers keep throwing down suppressing fire. Fuck.
Be like, we need air support. Like, fucking stupid.
Fuck, Sergeant, what do we do? Fuck, what's next, Sergeant? Where's the next objective? That was in Battlefield 1. We're like, what's next, Sergeant?
This shit.
Yeah, they got a woman right in the leg. A lot of tear gas tonight. A lot of direct use of impact munitions on people. Didn't see him coming up. A lot of wildly firing into crowds. And a lot of like physical, like a lot of grabbing and throwing and shoving. Yeah, the cloud, good God. Yeah, there's the police. We've had this during the day. Yeah. Yeah, it ended by the time it was starting to get dark.
He did.
Oh boy.
Oh, Rip Robert.
A lot of tear gas. Do you need it for your eyes or your mouth? Oh, you got it. I don't. Oh boy. So here's the police. And here's the crowd. We're at the waterfront, which is a place without a whole lot of places to run to be honest. God, there's so much tear gas in the air. I'm okay. Thank you, though. Tons of gas in the damn air. Woo. And yeah, people were shooting a hell of a lot of fireworks at the federal courthouse and the police station. Both of those buildings are gigantic, made out of concrete. I don't think any of them were in danger in any way. And we saw at least one prisoner inside waving, seemed to be enjoying it. Now, we have seen, I will say, a lot more fireworks being deployed back at the police. But having had a few of those blow up next to me, didn't seem to do any damage. Yeah. You good, Sergio? Did they hit you directly with something? They pushed you.
Video of the
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
You saw them and you saw what you're standing.
Yeah, so not perfect on the the new journalism orders, but yeah, it looks like they're pulling back again rather than doing about.
Dude, wearing a press vest.
Sorry, man. About a month ago, when all this started, the second real night.
I
of
need
this,
to get one.
They chased everybody
Need
down to
print
here
one
throughout
out.
the city, and then they just basically built a wall of tear gas.
Just
so
listen to
this
YouTube
entire
channel.
street
Just the shooters.
and forced
Just the
everybody up
shooting,
to
yeah.
the highway.
Dude, I'm
Throw
telling
it
you,
up on the Twitch stream,
I'm the
and you'll
ultimate
get on well.
like camouflage. Like people won't even like know. Like could be like,
Oh, you got
shoot.
dudes in the wheelchairs fucking coming out here. Oh, they confiscated some dude's shield. No.
It's
They're stealing
evidence.
his shield.
Evidence of his house crest.
Hundreds and hundreds of
How
people.
dare they? Disrespectful.
More than 60. It looks like more than 60%. Yeah. I'd be surprised if that was much less than like 3/4 of what was there at the start, at the Justice Center, which would mean this is definitely like the most resilience we've seen from a crowd, the kind of most diversity. Yeah. Unless a lot of them haven't come out in 2 or 3 weeks, I don't know. Yeah. I saw the next regulation. So, an interesting eve. An interesting eve. Hey there! Robert Evans. Nice to meet you. Yeah, man, thank you. Hey, everybody, it's Robert Evans! Roll ahead, my man. Oh, sorry. You should cut at least what? Oh yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if it was anything less. They were fucking launching a lot. That guy said
Park Patrol came to clean up the mess
canisters of
afterwards.
gas I never think to count when it's going on. I wouldn't be surprised that that's the heaviest gas I've seen in a while. Which again, since the first week, yeah. And this is by far the heaviest direct use of impacts I've seen. I think other nights it may have been this bad though that I wasn't here because since this has gone to past the 30-day mark, I've missed some days. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. No, that was Saturday. That wasn't the first night. That was the second night. Yeah.
people be like, "Oh, I'm afraid to go to the protests, get beat up." Meanwhile, Robert Evans goes there, don't get beat up, and gets fucking to taste the fucking spicy air and get to go to the cool
Spicy
zone.
air.
Yeah.
Oh, they might not have been gassed. That's good, I guess.
Wow,
Looks
that's a
like my
decent
family
sized
made
group.
it home without being tear gassed.
This ain't really relevant right now, but maybe you might find a little chuckle out of it. And I don't even know if it's true,
Oh, boy.
but I'm gonna say that just because it gave me a little chuckle.
Yeah.
Apparently, Waka Flocka had a higher SAT score than Ben Shapiro.
Whoa. Why you gotta shit on Ben Shapiro like that? Nah,
He really just asked me
dumb,
that.
He dumb as fuck too, though.
Oh boy. So yeah, still real big crowd. Right next to the Portland, Oregon sign.
Like, he be just disappearing. Like, the only time I ever hear him is when he says something stupid and everybody's talking about it, or Secular Talk usually saws him down semi-annually. Like, every other week, he's like, Ben Shapiro said something stupid. Like, I bet.
The only time I ever really see Ben Shapiro is whenever there's a meme about him, and it's like him holding up a giant ass hammer. It's like teleports behind you. Nothing personal, liberal.
There's the pig on. Oh,
Oink oink, DeAndre Marquise.
Alright, that's a good place to stop it. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Beware the police stays, all I'm gonna say.
Clap sync.
Mark sync into this one.